Hello there, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Weekly Riff. This is episode 4 of On Request Magazine's The Weekly Riff. My name is Anthony Avina. Welcome. Today's podcast, of course, is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/OnRequestMagazine. There are over 150,000 titles to choose from on your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Make sure you tune in and click that link, or you can type it in yourself and get a great discount on a free audiobook. Now, we got a wide range of topics to choose from today. Let's go with the Poltergeist remake. And the first topic I want to talk about is this trailer that came out. It is for the Poltergeist remake, starring Sam Rockwell. The trailer looks incredibly dark, incredibly scary. I think it really does a great justice of capturing the true terror of the first film. There are some classic hearkenings to the original film. If you haven't seen the trailer yet, I highly recommend you do. It is quite something to behold. I do want to give a quick statement saying that if you are squeamish about horror movies, if you are younger and your parents wouldn't want you to approve, do not go see this trailer. It is definitely not for the faint of heart. So make sure you check out the Poltergeist remake trailer that was just released. It's looks like it's going to be one of the scarier films of the year. So make sure you tune in for that. Sam Rockwell's going to do a fantastic job in this role. And I'm very interested to see how close to the original film they stay and what kind of liberties they're going to take with it. Also in the movie news, it was recently announced that Neighbors 2 is in development, starring Seth Rogen and Zac Efron. The film is going to be a sequel to the hit film Neighbors, which saw Seth Rogen and his wife, played by, what is her name? I always forget her name. Hold on, let me look this up. Technical difficulties, folks. Her name... Rose Byrne. There you go. Rose Byrne was the actress who played Seth Rogen's wife. They, with a recent child being born, find that their neighbors who just bought the house is a fraternity headed by Zac Efron. And soon the two households become engaged in a battle for the neighborhood, fighting to see who can get kicked out first. Trying to get the fraternity out of the neighborhood so that things can go back to the way they were. It was a hilarious film, and I'm very interested to see how they make a sequel out of it, considering how the first one ended. I'd be very interested to see, do they become rivals once again, or does something bring them together? Who knows? But all I know is that the first one was hilarious, and I'm very excited to see what the second one brings. Now on to comic book news, something I thought was worth noting and something that's very awesome. Marvel announced that they are going to have the first ever all-female Avengers team. It's going to be called A-Force. After the events of the upcoming Secret Wars series, the Avengers are going to be no more. Therefore, an all-female team led by She-Hulk, Dazzler, Medusa, Nico Minora, and other favorite heroines are going to be teaming up for A-Force, taking on the threats to the Earth that no single heroine can deal with on their own. So I'm very interested to see what happens in the Secret Wars storyline that is going to not only cause the disbandment of the Avenger team, but is going to see that this team is led by all females, which I think is amazing. It's about time that the strong female characters in the comic books became the featured headliners in a female team. I think it proves that the female heroes not only deserve the recognition, but are just as strong and powerful and incredible as the rest of the superhero community that are made up of men. So I'm very excited to see how this turns out. This is going to be coming later in the year. One little celebrity story I want to touch on a little bit, and for those of you who follow me on my Twitter account may already saw me ranting about this, but I wanted to talk about the Taylor Swift and Etsy storyline. Came to my attention recently that Taylor Swift had her lawyers send a cease and desist order to a small Etsy store that was selling merchandise with some of Taylor Swift's lyrics on them. Pretty much claiming that the store owner had no right to sell merchandise with those lyrics on them. Now, the store owner was not making much money. Most of the money she earned from sales was going right back into production and shipping costs. So it wasn't like she was making a whole lot of money on it. Now, a lot can be argued about copyright and whether anyone has the right to use another person's property. Here's my thing on the subject. Taylor Swift is like a mega millionaire. She is filthy rich. She's very popular. She has a lot. That makes her kind of a force to be reckoned with in the entertainment industry. So my question is, why are you so focused on bringing down people who are just showcasing their appreciation for your work? They're not, bleeding you dry of the money you earned. You have plenty of money. Not to mention the fact that I think imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. And it's not like they're claiming that it's their lyric that they're claiming. They are saying that these are Taylor Swift lyrics. I just think the whole thing is a little ridiculous, to be honest. If it was me and someone was putting quotes of mine or something on products and selling them, I'd be very flattered. Especially if I was kind of making the kind of money she's making. It'd be one thing if she was a struggling artist who is trying to make a name for herself and someone was doing this. That'd be a little different. But someone with her amount of money who doesn't have a want or worry in the world financially, being so picky about stuff like that is kind of ridiculous. It's kind of like how she had her lawyers take down Shane Dawson's parody of one of her songs. I saw the film. It was a dark comedy. The parody, I mean. It was a dark comedy, so there was definitely some horror, dark stuff to it, but it was also funny. It was supposed to be a dark comedy. Shane Dawson's done many parodies and many songs before. Yet somehow Taylor Swift found a loophole that allowed her to ban the video from YouTube, pretty much because I guess the lawyers didn't feel that it was in the best image. I think this is ridiculous and it's a huge infringement on the freedom of speech. The whole thing bothers me. This is why I have such a hard time liking music from people like Taylor Swift or other pop stars who hold so steadfast to their fame that they can't appreciate the fans that they're supposed to be singing for, or are so, kind of stuck up about their property, their intellectual properties, that they would send a cease and desist order to a small Etsy store or stop a comedian from posting a parody video. When there are plenty of other parody videos still up there, they singled out Shane Dawson's video. So the whole thing is just a little ridiculous to me. So that is my feelings on the whole situation. Finally, something I wanted to talk about was YouTube. Nothing specific, just YouTube in general. I've noticed a trend lately watching YouTube videos. People still questioning the legitimacy of YouTube as an entertainment platform. Whether it is some of the original YouTubers who are questioning newer generations, and anyone who is got a different entertainment platform than they do, who has a different style. Or it's the general public who still thinks YouTube is all cat videos or prank videos or whatever. I don't see it that way. See, the way I view YouTube, it's like being on the cutting edge of a new platform. Kind of like people must have felt back in the day when television was first invented and the whole television industry was created. I'm sure back then, and it's, people know this, the television was probably not looked at favorably. People probably viewed it back then the way YouTube is viewed now, as a fad that is not going to be as popular as television today or back then. It was probably film or even live theater. Was probably more well thought of than television when it first got created. YouTube is a part of the future of entertainment. Instantaneous access to entertainment like that is, part of the pioneer age for technology. We're seeing things that no one thought would be possible. Anyone and everyone has an opportunity to entertain, to bring back their memories of the past, to have a voice. I think that's what I get out of this the most. YouTube allows people who may have spent their entire lives never having a voice or being able to put their face out for the world to see. They finally have an opportunity to do so. I think that's pretty incredible. No matter what the critics say, no matter what some of the older generations of YouTubers say, who are kind of looking down on the oversaturation of content on YouTube, me personally, I feel that we are living in a pretty incredible time. A time where anyone and everyone can find their voice, can find their path, and it's all thanks to platforms like YouTube, Vine, Instagram, all these social media platforms and technology as a whole. I don't think it quite isolates people the way society thinks it does. I think technology and the internet can actually be a gateway to help bring people closer together, to kind of bring things to light, to focus the spotlight on certain issues that may have gone, pushed under the rug before, and to give those who have never had a voice the voice they always deserved. So, those were my thoughts on YouTube, and with that, I will conclude this episode of the Weekly Riff. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you appreciated it. I enjoyed writing it, or talking about it, not writing it. In the comments below, tell me what your thoughts on the Taylor Swift and YouTube stories are. Do you agree with my views on those? What do you think of Taylor Swift taking down the Etsy store, or your thoughts on YouTube? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below on this video, or in the comment section on the iTunes or Podomatic websites. Thank you guys for listening to today's podcast. Please, if you're watching this on YouTube, give this video a big thumbs up. Please like this video, comment on it, favorite it, and share it. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Also, if you're listening to this on iTunes or Podomatic, make sure you leave your comments and you subscribe to this podcast if you haven't yet. I really appreciate you guys sticking in with us and tuning in. Make sure you, stick around. I'm going to be trying to do 2 podcasts every week, and they'll be 10 to 15 minute episodes probably. And it'll be a lot of fun. Thank you guys for listening to this podcast. My name is Anthony Avina with Honor Quest Magazine. Signing off. Long days and pleasant nights, my friends.